This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Get it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 16, Episode number 3531. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk, Montgomery, and you are the Men's Room. On tap today, it is a random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories: delicious seafood and houses that cost way too much. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack, drinking and drink.
All right, here we go. Iowa man gives birth to 4 ounces of weed when handcuffed by police and fell right out of his belly. Meanwhile, a body in France in a canal is actually a sex doll, nicknamed the Naughty Kelly. Man shot by intruder learns he is really his wife's boyfriend who's been secretly living at their home. On the Maine, where after a crash is where the Pop-Tarts and Cheez-Its both roam. And a California man fleeing another with a gun, he accidentally breaks into the county jail. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, there are plenty of scenarios where it's okay to not wear pants. All right, in bed, in the shower, during sex. Hell, people, they've accepted that you're probably not wearing pants during a Zoom call. However, if you're going to stand outside of a neighbor's house, staring into the window, you might want to, at the very least, have your pants on. A man in Florida seemingly did not get that memo. Now, to be fair, he had his pants on, but he had them down around his ankles. And now he's under arrest. And look, if you're that insatiably horny, maybe get yourself a sex doll. There's currently a sex doll in Central France awaiting its owner to come get it. You see, a couple of bikers spotted the doll floating face down in a river. And naturally, they thought it was a dead body. They called the authorities. It was not a corpse. It was a sex doll. And now that it's been cleared up, the police have invited the doll's owner to come and pick it up. Now, that's France. Here in the U.S., if you think there's a naked person in a river, well, damn it, it's because there's a naked person in a river. Case in point, we go to Tennessee, where police were called when a man jumped into a river naked, hopped on a log, and floated for 10 miles while singing God Bless the USA. True story. These are just some of the stories that we've come across. Stories that left us with many questions we'd like to ask you in the form of our random question, and this is how it works. You call us, we ask you a question that completes random, and after you share your story, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
Be a part of the big show, the random question. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, Patrols, and away we go. Welcome to Season 16, Episode number 3531. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Welcome to Monday. Your guess is as good as mine. Count of the categories will be your favorite types of seafood and houses that cost way too much. So we have the top 10 cities in the United States where it is the most expensive to buy a home. Now, these are major metropolitan areas. As you know, there are a lot of suburbs of cities that have expensive homes, but this is just the general population of these areas.
I can guess one.
Yeah, I mean, you might be, look around. Now, depending on where you are right there. So we've got houses that cost too much, and they keep getting more expensive. And your favorite types of seafood, this does not only include fish, but everything else that comes from the ocean.
I'm trying to think if there's 10 things from the ocean that I like.
Easily. I mean, if you just think about a couple things.
Yeah, I already covered it. Never mind.
Exactly. It's not that difficult. But either way, there's a couple of surprises on there. And as far as based on sales, what people like and everything else. So it's the most popular types of a seafood coming up with your guess is as good as mine. And today on the Men's Room Happy Hour, as you get more Men's Room exclusively on the Odyssey app, Monday through Friday at 6, we head over to the Odyssey app for the Men's Room Happy Hour. If you don't have the Odyssey app, get it now for free in the App Store and Google Play. Favorite the Happy Hour. It'll pop right up there for you at 6 o'clock. And you'll be able to check out more Men's Room. And today we have the return of the word on episode number 24 with a history of the rooster word, I guess is the best.
Oh, okay.
The rooster word.
And actually, the history of the word rooster is more interesting than the history of the other word.
So they both tie into each other somehow.
They do. I was amazed. It's kind of an amazing thing. It sounds trivial, sounds childish, but it's actually a pretty fascinating journey when you start going down the wormhole. And the return of Would You Rather. That's all on the way on the Men's Room Happy Hour, exclusively on the Odyssey app at 6. And today is the day we do our random question. 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Kenzo. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, Pichola.
Hola.
Kenzo, welcome to the program. Random question. How are you, sir?
Oh, it's always a good day when I get to talk to the men's room.
All right, very cool, man. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, let's go with this one. We'll keep it local for a minute. What is the last thing or one of the best things that you ever got for free? Other than this fine radio program.
Dang. Well, I can't name my number one thought off my head because that's too vocal for radio, so.
That's where my head went, too.
Right. Dude, I would have to say it was just free concert tickets, I guess.
All right, very cool.
What was the concert?
So I'm young, like super young, so it was like the whole Warped Tour thing and everything in Vegas and stuff, and that was happening a lot before they stopped really doing it every year.
Now, wait a minute. Were you living in Vegas? You got the tickets to go down to Vegas for the Warped Tour?
At the time, I'm originally from Vegas, so I was down there.
All right. I mean? Well, that's cool, man. Nothing wrong with a free ticket.
Especially something like that where there's multiple bands. I mean, who played at the show that you got to go to?
So it was like a lot of these new artists like MGK, and then there was like emo bands. You know what I mean? It was like mostly emo thing, you know. But I just got a free tickets, and actually, when I went to the concert, I got a whole bunch of free merchandise too. Got
Sweet.
hookups, so.
Okay.
Nice.
That's
Yes,
very
sir.
good. How'd you get free merchandise? You a thief or someone gave it to you?
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
Oh,
Free merch.
It's
huh?
not free merchandise.
It's
It
free.
is if you don't get caught.
Yeah. You know, it's harder. I mean, with like, say, Ted, you've got tickets to the Sounders match or whatever, and you're not going to go to the match. I know you can probably sell them to someone, or I'm not sure how that goes, but it seems like it's a little bit more complicated than just handing someone a ticket now.
Yeah, there's no paper tickets.
You know what I mean? Of course there are for Mariners and things like that, but it seems like the more venues go to the phone or the app or whatever, it's kind of hard to go like, here's my extra ticket. You know what I mean? Go enjoy yourself. Because it's like
you can forward it to people
gotta email
in a
it
way,
to them.
but it's
okay, all right, still kind of
it's just not as easy.
All right. The reason we asked, what did you get for free? We stay right here in Washington State and go to Kennewick, Washington, where staff at a jail in South Central Washington have come up with an inexpensive but effective way to encourage inmates to get their COVID-19 vaccination shot. Since the first of the month, the Benton County Jail has given away one of its most popular commissionary items to inmates who sign up for the first COVID shot. You guys have any idea what they're getting?
I read the headline today. It kind of made me chuckle, but if I'm in jail, I'm all in, man.
They get 10 packs of ramen noodles.
10.
On the house. Yeah.
Nice.
As of today, the jail has already given out 900 packets of noodle soup to 90 different inmates who all got their shots.
What flavor do you think they're rocking, or do you think they have multiple? They all taste exactly the same.
I
to
like
me.
beef, just as far as what
Can
it
you
does.
really tell the difference?
It's
like
like
between
a,
shrimp, chicken, and beef, right?
well, it's a more brown broth.
But I'm saying, right, I know that, but blind taste test, right? You close your eyes. We have all the three flavors. Do you think you can tell? I honestly do not believe I can.
You can't, not really. I think you're right.
I get chicken every time, but I'm with Miles. If you had a taste test, I don't know if I could.
You would be surprised. You walk by ramen noodles, at the grocery store, not think twice about it. But then if you have 3 or 4 packets at home, like if you get stoned one night or whatever, and you're just hungry real quick, those bad boys, man, you forget just how good a pack of ramen noodles is.
I'm always loaded with ramen. One, my daughter likes noodles and or pasta, so that goes a long way. They're cheap as ass, but I use them for everything except just straight ramen noodles. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If we're going to do like Asian night, I always use the ramen noodles as my base. For whatever, you can toss anything with them, and it's just fine.
Yeah. It's advertised to inmates. They got big flyers up in the jail. And they have the seasoned wavy noodles and the headline that says, "Soups for shots. Any inmate, no matter how long their stay, is eligible for the program if they have not been immunized yet," according to the Benton County Jail. So free ramen for everybody. 10 packs.
I mean, if I'm in there and I've already gotten the shot, I still want that noodle.
I want the noodles too. Like, hey, wait a minute, man. Can I get? Because ramen is a hot commodity.
Does this mean I have access to a microwave? Does this mean I have access to a hot plate? I'm glad I don't know these details because that means I would be incarcerated at the moment.
I'm sure there's like a communal microwave.
Something. But even if
and
you
then
have
people
to
cook
go to
stuff in their
someone,
rooms,
right? Even if you have to go to someone, I'd rather roll up there with my ramen. There is something about ramen. They just become a part of your life, especially when you're broke. Then you swear to yourself, I'm never buying ramen again because you ate them for every meal for like 10 years. And then you realize, you know what? I need ramen back in my life.
Okay, but with the cost of cigarettes right now. So cigarettes, it's gotten to the point where cigarettes are about, what, is it 20,
10, $11, something like that.
Yeah, but is it 25 cents or 50 cents a cigarette at this point?
I don't know. I've not done that.
It's
math.
probably 50 cents a cigarette because you got 20 in a pack, right? You figure they're 50 cents. That's $10 for a pack of cigarettes. Now, what is the value of ramen noodles? Because you used to be able to get 5 for $1, right? Or something like that.
I think you still can.
It
just depends if they're having the sale. I've seen up to 10 for $1.
What if it's, like if you have, okay, so if it's 4 for $1. So does that mean one cigarette is good for one pack of ramen noodles if you're trading?
No, one cigarette, you give me 2 packs.
You get 2 packs.
Yeah, because cigarettes are addictive. The ramen's just delicious.
Okay.
That's my trade. By the way.
Can you still smoke in a jail?
I'm not sure.
Well, people are always fighting. Look, I don't think you're supposed to, but plenty of guys do, right? When you sneak cigarettes into prison, man, everybody wants a cigarette. So
right, but I'm just saying, I would just think with health stuff over the years where they finally just like, you can't smoke cigarettes in here.
They're going to tell you that for your health. Mm-hmm. Like, man, I'm in jail. Do not worry about my goddamn health. I'm in jail. By the way, they said when all you eat is ramen noodles, trust me, you can tell the difference. Brother, it's been a while for me. Someone else says they have pork ramen. That's their jam. And it says, y'all are sleeping on Oriental ramen. There's more than 3 flavors.
I used to buy that one as well.
That used to be the go, for whatever reason, the go-to was and even though they all cost the same, Oriental ramen seemed like the standard. Then if you got the shrimp ramen, you're like, we're getting fancy tonight.
Mm-hmm. But I'm with you. I there's always some in my house, but I probably only eat it once a year.
Miles always brings up the point. So Oriental, right? If you describe a person as Oriental, now that's but it goes like with rugs and ramen noodles. That term is still okay.
I'm not sure why that is. Like you'd think that,
but nowhere else
with the police the way things are now, that would have been immediately changed. You know what I mean? So it would have been a rug from wherever,
right?
You know what I mean, or wherever it's made, a Turkish rug, or I don't know, but you know what I mean, like
right. You have Oriental rugs, you have Oriental flavor.
What is that flavor?
Right.
I mean, like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? They don't do it anymore.
But it's still called the Orient in some ways.
Yeah,
it is called the Orient, right?
But it feels like mayonnaise flavored. You make it like tastes like white people. You know what I mean?
Says Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right, exactly.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola. By the way, Miles, no smoking in the prison since about 2002.
So
according to someone.
You just automatically have to quit?
No, you just got to sneak it.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, I can tell you a lot of things are illegal in prison, and you will smuggle them in anyway, right?
Okay. Chris, let's go with this one. Where were you banned or kicked out of? Or maybe just asked to leave?
There was one time I was banned from a bar for, I guess, kind of a slightly ridiculous reason. And it was because I just didn't tip the waitress or the bartender, and they asked me not to come back until she got her tip.
Oh, you said you did not tip them?
Yeah, I was just not thinking about it, didn't tip her. So I went back like 2 weeks later, not even to drink or anything, just be like, hey, when it's her shift, can you give I gave him like $10. Can you give this back to the waitress and just let her get her tip back that she obviously deserved? It was a busy night.
What did you just space out, or were you drunk?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say both, probably.
Yes. I always have that feeling sometimes where if you go out and you just do maybe too much of a night, and sometimes you have that feeling like, did I pay the tab? You know what I mean?
I have had that a few times. And then, like, oh, no.
I did have money in my pocket, but I don't see it on my bank statement. So did I give cash? Did I walk out? Do I need to go back there this morning or when they open and find out if I...
Or what if you're there with it's one thing if, say, the four of us went out, right? And you don't remember paying, but it's like between the four of us, somebody got it. But I've definitely had that night where, the next morning I texted my buddy, did you pay? I didn't pay. And he's like, oh, crap, I didn't pay. And I'm like, I hope we didn't make those other people pay. We don't know them that well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something you honestly don't remember. I've gone into the bar before just to ask, hey, man, I was here last night. And they go, yeah, we remember you. I'm like, did I pay my tab? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay, we're all good. Right? And I've also gone in where I was a regular. They said, hey, you forgot to pay your tab, but we already took it off your card. It's all good. And they still bought me around. I'm like, cool, thank you.
I've been at a bar in a hotel at a wedding, right? And then afterwards, and the bar was very cool, but the main bartender, he was, setting up cups, people playing flip cup. And then, if there was 30 people this after party, 25 of them just left their cards open. So now I'm sitting there with the father of the groom, and me and him are just sitting there still drinking. And the guy's like, do you know all these people? We're like, yup. 20%, every single one of them.
That's what you got to do.
And then the bartender kept reading off the names. And once in a while, I'd look at my buddy's dad, and I was like, that guy sucks.
30%. Reason we asked, where were you banned or kicked out of? A Belgian woman has been issued a ban by the Antwerp Zoo because of her close relationship, quote unquote, with a male chimpanzee that she has been visiting frequently for years.
Hey, get your head out of the gutter.
80 Timmermans has been visiting Cheetah, a 38-year-old male chimpanzee, for at least 4 years, and claims they have developed a very powerful bond that can be described as, quote, a relationship. However, the animal caretakers at the zoo believe this relationship has been causing social problems for Cheetah within a group of chimpanzees because he is so close to Addie. So Cheetah is being ignored by the other primates and is not now considered to be part of the pack. So to improve his relationship with his own kind, the zoo recently issued a contact ban forbidding Timmermans from getting too close to Cheetah's enclosure and instructing her to avoid making eye contact with the animal.
Wait a minute. So she can't visit the chimp because the chimp likes her company so much that the other chimps now ignore it. This is her fault.
When Cheetah is constantly busy with visitors, the other monkeys ignore him and don't consider him part of the group, even though that is important. He then sits on his own outside of visiting hours. 80, on the other hand, considers the contact ban unfair, claiming that she loves Cheetah and he loves her, and that the ban only impacts her, not other visitors. I love that animal. He loves me. I haven't got anything else. Why do they want to take that away? She was emotional as she told reporters other dozens of visitors are allowed to make contact. Then why not me? She admits that she had received 4 warnings about her close relationship with the chimpanzee, but she just couldn't stay away from him. Now, if she continues to ignore the warnings, the contact ban might lead to an outright ban from the Antwerp Zoo. Caretakers explained that Cheetah's situation is complicated. He arrived at the zoo some 30 years ago as a former personal pet. He was unmanageable for a very long time, but he eventually learned to fit in with the other chimps, but his interest in humans never went away, which is why they say Addie's attention is so dangerous in this case.
That is insane. I mean, like, you go to the zoo, this chimp decides, like, look, if I went to Woodland Park Zoo, right, I'm rolling by the chimp, and this chimp's like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? And then I realize every time I go to the zoo, the chimp's happy to see me. I'm more inclined to give you money to go to the zoo. Because it's like, hey, kid, we're not just, like, looking at lines. Like, this chimp's cool, man. Yeah. We broke down. I don't know why.
There's a small...
I like the idea of that. What? So the chimp's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, what's up?
Right? I mean, that seems to be basically what they do.
Like, just the interaction itself just sounds awesome. Like, oh, man, he's talking to him.
What's up, man?
There's a small aquarium on the small boardwalk in Seaside, Oregon, and they have this tank of seals, all right?
Okay.
They'll give you, like, sardines or whatever. You pay $3 or $4, and you can go up there. So I go up there, man, and there's this one seal. And I could just tell we have something. You know what I mean? I have.
Wait, how can you tell? What is the tip off?
He follows me everywhere, or she, whatever.
Could you smell like sardines?
I've got him in my hand.
Well,
I mean,
that helps.
He's not stupid. But I mean, I could tell. He could tell. Like, this was before I bought the sardines. Like, I'm just up at the aquarium hanging out. And everywhere I walked, he would go. You know what I mean? And he would look at me, and I'd look at him and go, hey, buddy, what's happening? What's going on? He'd make a couple noises. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go buy you some sardines, which is a really bad idea because your hands smell like fish for the rest of the day and you can never wash that crap off. It's ridiculous.
All right.
So I gave him about half that pack, man. He was just loving life, man.
What do you think would happen?
I wanted to pet the damn thing, but I knew that probably wasn't a good idea.
If you went back, and that seal is still there, do you think it would see you and be like, that's my boy, that's mine? So that's the guy I was telling you about.
I don't know.
That's sardine finger.
He might think, I think he let his hair go out a little bit.
You were the sardine or the seal,
right? More of the random question coming up, 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW. Yay! You're in the men's room.
Men's room, original ale is back. We're bringing back the OG in the spirit of the original ale. Just a few small batches to begin with and only on tap at a few select locations. And by the way, those locations were selected because they sold a ton of Men's Room Original Red and gave a lot of money to the Fisher House.
Yeah.
So they get first crack at the beer. Had one on Friday night. Tasty and delicious at Talarico's in Fremont. Other locations include the Keg and Q Tavern in Monroe. Head on over to the Cactus Moon Saloon in Everett. Or the Loose Wheel Bar and Grill in Tacoma. Those are just a handful of the locations. If you're trying to find a place near you that has the beer on tap, Just check out KISW.com. There's about 15, 20 locations as of now. We'll see how it goes and maybe more from there. So check it out. It's delicious. It really was. I was like, man, that is a damn good beer. So.
And you said they had the actual tap handle.
We have
not
tap handle.
physically seen the tap handle.
How'd it look?
I should have taken a picture of it. Like an idiot, I didn't.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, you just go down there and take a look at it and drink one yourself. You know what I mean? There's Monday Night Football on tonight. If you want to go get a beer someplace.
Jags?
It's
Saints?
the Jacksonville Jaguars, yes, against the Saints.
All right. Well, there you go, man. It's good stuff. And all the details on the beer at KISW.com.
Random.
Hello, Riley. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Riley, welcome to the program. Random question. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I just got off work.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. What do you do for a living, Riley?
I am a computer technician.
All right. That's very cool. Okay. Let's see here.
Is that really cool?
Yeah. I need lots of help.
I dig
wish I just
around
knew how to
in
do it.
them.
All right. Okay, let's go with this one. What would you say about your lifestyle is unhealthy? Like, what is the one thing where you get like, I know this is not good for me,
One thing.
but I can't stop doing it? Whether it's drink sodas all the time or, you know what I mean, whatever it is. What do you know that is a habit of yours that's unhealthy?
I'm probably looking at it right now in my living room.
Tell me your wife.
It's garbage.
Garbage?
All over the place. I got it. Yeah.
Oh, you're just messy.
Well, that's not going to kill you, is it? I mean, think about what do you eat?
I'm not at that level. It's just unhealthy enough.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So unhealthy based on the fact that your place is always a mess and it's not a good thing.
Yeah, you don't want to invite company over. It just horrible.
I feel like that's a hallmark of a lot of computer guys. For whatever reason, right? You know your stuff, you're into your thing, you get the codes, all this stuff. Our IT guy here, man, I'll hear him have a conversation with one of our engineers. And I can overhear it for like 10 minutes, and hand to God, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Now, do you have a girlfriend?
I do. I have a fiance, and she also went to school for computers. So
okay, so the mess does not matter.
So she doesn't mind this mess.
She's not exactly happy with it either, but we are two peas of the same pod.
All right. Okay.
All right.
So what's laying around? Is it straight garbage? Is it pizza boxes?
It's just dishes and just things we're too tired to pick up at the moment, and then we just let it sit.
All right. Now, do you have a dishwasher?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, we wash. We have days where we just have the energy, and we'll clean up everything. The house looks amazing afterwards, and then we let it sit for another week.
Do you lie to each other and do because a lot of times, like, you'll clean the house, it looks spotless, right? And I don't care what couple it is, even if you're clean. Like, when you get to the nitty-gritty of bathrooms where you walk in and it's sparkling and you go, you know what, man? We need to stay on top of this.
That's what I was going to say.
Don't.
Regardless of how
you won't.
Regardless of how clean you are or how dirty you are, if you're not very clean, it seems like the bathroom takes the brunt of it. So if I went into your bathroom right now, would there be a black mole ring like in the toilet or anything like that?
Oh, I'm in these dinky apartments right now, so you'd probably be like a mold stain up in the corner because our vent doesn't work for the shower.
So do your towels smell like ass?
No. We wash everything.
All right,
we run laundry. We do run laundry. If we start getting funky smells, it's like, all right, we're fixing that.
All right. I like that. The smell test. All right, one last question about the bathroom. Usually it seems like, I don't know, there's a lot of excess hair, it seems to me, in some people's bathrooms. I have it.
No.
You're excessively hairy.
We bathroom is my chore.
Okay.
We split up the chores. I'm the guy who does laundry and garbage and bathroom. Bathroom's my big one that I take care of, and I absolutely hate having a dirty bathroom because if I ever invite someone over, I can excuse having a few things left out in the living room, but if the bathroom is a complete mess, no.
That's the one, man. And what I've discovered about children, and my kids are actually cleaner in the bathroom. I think most kids their age are, but the one thing, apparently they have excessive holes in their mouth because I'm like, I cannot believe that much toothpaste. You brushed your teeth. All you did was brush your teeth. And in those 5 minutes, I look in the sink, and it's like, oh, did you just squirt the tube of toothpaste into
Did it
the
even
sink?
make it onto the brush?
Right. Did any of this go in your mouth? Because it is amazing how much toothpaste is sitting there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that sounds more like clutter as opposed to like you just have trash
Being
in your
dirty.
place.
Yeah. If your bathroom's clean, but you got clutter, man, people can live with that. By the way, they texted, LOL, Thrill, you're so right. I'm a computer guy, can't keep my place clean. It just, I don't know why. For whatever reason. Anyone I know that's like heavy into tech or IT, like you said, not dirty, but just messy.
There's just stuff everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. The reason we asked, what about your lifestyle is unhealthy? This is going to hurt a lot of people. Researchers have released a nutritional index.
Oh, no.
Aimed to inform guidelines and help Americans achieve healthier and more environmentally stable diets. The index ranked foods by minutes gained or lost off of healthy life per serving, with processed meats and sugary drinks among the biggest offenders.
Well, sure.
So the findings included over 5,000 foods in the U.S. diet classified by health burden and environmental impact. We used the results to inform dietary substitutions, which are realistic and feasible. We find that small targeted food level substitutions can make a big. So the foods studied ranged from 74 minutes lost to 80 minutes gained per serving. So sugary drinks, hot dogs, hamburgers, and breakfast sandwiches were linked with the most minutes of healthy life lost.
Boo.
You know the rest. Fruits, non-starchy and mixed vegetables, ready-to-eat cereals, and cooked grains, they were associated with the largest grain. So more specifically, researchers found that consuming 185-gram serving of chicken wings translated into 3.5 minutes of life lost.
It's worth it.
If you eat one chicken wing, you're not going to be on this planet 3 minutes and a half longer than you would if you hadn't have gotten. But who eats one chicken wing?
I had chicken wings for dinner Friday.
You eat 8, you eat 10, you eat 12, whatever the serving is. You know,
But who has enjoyed the last 3 minutes of their life the most?
You would just have them. They would be there. In
Yeah,
some form.
great. I got 3 extra minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. Eating a beef hot dog on a bun, you're going to lose about 36 minutes of your life.
What? But isn't that why Twitter's going crazy and be like, how's Joey Chestnut alive?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Doesn't he purge, though?
Due to the detrimental effect of processed meat, every single hot dog you eat takes over a half hour away from your life.
Come on. I'd be dead already.
What if it's a little smoky?
I don't
We'll
know how
just
to
say
break
4
that down.
minutes, Dad. Just 4 minutes with your little smoky.
What's more, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No.
Okay.
No.
What do you think about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
They're adding 10 minutes to my life.
do you
10
think?
solid, good, happy minutes.
I mean, in theory, well, I guess maybe because of the jelly, I'm going to say it takes off 1.5 minutes.
Okay. Believe it or not, they were associated with a positive increase in life.
Yeah!
Oh, nice.
Every peanut butter and jelly sandwich, according to them, adds 33 minutes to one's life.
Really?
Where a hot dog takes off 36.
So I can just keep smoking and eating peanut butter and jelly and just call it even.
Foods like salted peanuts, baked salmon, and rice and beans associated with positive gains between 10 to 15 minutes. They did all this just to figure out what are the worst things and the best things that you are eating. Researchers also classified foods by nutritional and environmental impact or short-term global warming. So, for example, healthy, environmental, sustainable foods include nuts, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and some seafood.
Well, sure.
Where food with poor nutritional value and production linked to high environmental impacts, like greenhouse gas emissions, include beef, processed meat, pork and lamb, cheese-based foods, certain salmon dishes. In contrast, most poultry, dairy, egg-based foods, and cooked grains fell into an intermediate zone. So they weren't the worst, but they weren't the best for you either. But there you go.
I would also say, I don't think anybody really thinks eating a hot dog has any redeeming value. You just eat them.
You eat them.
Yeah.
People are very aware that sugary sodas and processed meats are bad for them. The problem is they're also delicious. I mean, look, I smoke, I drink. I understand the inherent detriment of all of these things. I just don't care. You know, even when we're going to shave this time off your life. I'm like, all right, well, can you take maybe the next 3 minutes? Can I just die for the next 3 minutes and pop back? I'm good.
I just can't imagine if I eat 2 chicken wings, man. I'm 7 minutes off my lifespan.
Dad, so what does 85 grams translate to? Because that's a ridiculous thing. 85 grams of chicken wings. I don't know anyone who measures their chicken wing intake by the gram.
I don't either. Oh, they just say it's the sodium and the harmful trans fatty acid that's in the chicken wing.
Also, in layman's terms, the deliciousness.
The flavor.
Yeah.
The flavor.
Random.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Matthew, welcome to the program. Random question.
Thank you.
Matthew, how old are you?
32.
32. All right, we're going to go back in time. Yeah, time. You should be able to remember something. But do you remember anything you did or what you were doing when you were 5 years old? Shirley, you remember where you lived? 5 years old.
Yes.
Do you remember the TV
Yes.
shows you were watching, your favorite foods? Do you remember anything from 5?
A couple things, yes.
Okay.
Such as? What TV
Okay,
shows
I
were you
remember-
rocking?
Barney. Actually, I was obsessed with it.
All right, so Barney was a big one. Bless you, Ted. Barney was right there with my kids, too. In as much people used to say all kinds of bad stuff about Barney.
Yeah.
Barney gave me 20 minutes, 25 minutes to be able to do whatever I needed to do and know that hopefully they wouldn't go too far away from the TV
give
without
it
getting
a
in trouble.
pass. It does not give Barney a
did for
pass
me.
because all children's shows provide you the 20 minutes or so, 20 minutes,
But they
30.
seem to be locked into Barney.
I know, but it's just, I don't know. Like I said, if I ever saw him, I'd take a flamethrower to him, which I know is terrible, but I mean it.
To Barney?
To Barney.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were watching Barney. Do you remember what your favorite foods were?
Favorite food? No, I don't.
Okay. Did you go on any vacations or trips that you can remember when you were 5?
Yes, actually. And this is one of the very few memories I have of when I was 5.
Where did you go?
I went to Ocean Shores, and a big wave actually crashed onto me and swept me out into the ocean. My dad had to save me. I remember it. I remember it, everything.
Is that why you specifically remember that trip?
Yeah. Well, because my brother and I took starfish home also, and then they rotted in our garage.
Oh, that's good.
But-
Now, was this a sneaker wave, or were you just too close to the ocean and it pulled you in?
Sneaker, because it was all of us siblings were hanging out together, and it was just, I remember the size of it. It just kind of rose up above me. I'm just 5, so probably not that big of a wave, but I remember looking at it, and then it just took me out. And my parents were busy with the other kids. I'm the middle child, forgotten it out, and then I just sort of drifted out to the water a little bit.
Yeah.
My dad saved me eventually.
Right?
Eventually, I like that.
I think at 5, most waves are going to be big.
Right, but when you get swept out, like, that'll definitely burn it in your memory.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what I remember, because I don't know why I care this much, but I did at the time, and it made me mad. So I had a buddy, and we were kind of best friends growing up, and he played on a T-ball team, and I played on another T-ball team.
All right.
Now, there were only, I want to say, 4 teams in the entire T-ball league when I was playing T-ball. So we would play his team. We played him like 3 times. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the same thing would happen every T-ball game. You know, besides kids running to the wrong bases, maybe going to third, or kids just crying for no reason. You know what I mean? There was a lot of drama.
Right. The usual 5-year-old breakdown.
In T-ball that I remember. But I remember that we had played them twice, and our record was 0-5. Every game ended at a tie. Mm-hmm. So I got this in my mind that I am going to count every single run.
Right.
So there was no umpires or anything like that. It was just 2 coaches. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was
T-ball.
Yes,
right.
T-ball.
You do not need an umpire in T-ball.
So,
swing again, son.
At the end of the game, the 2 coaches would always meet up in the middle of the pitcher's mound.
you got an umpire back there calling balls and strikes.
And then they come out and they go, all right, guys, sorry, it was a tie. But you guys both played really well. And I'm like, Coach, it was not a tie. I said, we scored 23 runs. They scored 7. I counted every single run. And they're like, how did you count every single run? I said, with pebbles. And that's what I did. I took little rocks because I was playing out in the field and made piles. Then I made a pile in the dugout of the runs that we scored. So I always go back and count the pebbles, right? And I knew damn well. And I was like, look, because it was me and my buddy. He played on the other team. So I'm like, we beat your ass last time.
Right.
You know, they gave it a tie. This is crap. He's like, you guys didn't beat us. It was a fair and square tie. You know, kids are when they're 5. And I'm like, no. So I counted this time. So I showed them the rocks. I took them over and physically showed them. They kind of looked at each other. And they look at me and go, it's a tie. And I was like, it's not a tie. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a tie.
That's not how this works.
This is not how the game is played.
By the way, people have chimed in. It says, when I was 5, I had 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. And based on the last question, it says, I'm going to live forever. Mm-hmm. Someone else says, when he was 5, he watched Barney. When I was 5, I watched the Challenger explosion.
Oh, God!
And crazy coincidence, when I was 5, I was also swept out into the ocean at Ocean Shores.
Damn. Okay. Let's
try to remember. Right, 5's like what, preschool?
It's kindergarten.
Right before you're going to start getting.
Because you're normally 6 in first grade, so depending. But
I honestly don't have any. Like, I know I used to watch Saturday morning cartoons. And I know it started with Scooby-Doo, went into Super Friends.
I remember the name of my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Trickett. I do remember certain things. I remember that we were required to take naps. Like we had a cot that we had to roll out on the floor, and we had like a half an hour where you're.
That's what I remember.
Nobody could go to sleep. I mean, there was not one kid. Well, one kid who's 5 years old with all that energy after drinking juice and eating their lunch is going to be able to just take a nap.
I do remember learning the fine art of negotiation, and one of the things they would do, like once a week, tomato soup, which I will not eat. I would not eat at 5. But if you ate the bowl of tomato soup, you got 2 candy corns. Now, at the time, I didn't quite hate candy corns, but I'm like, a bowl of soup, and I saw the bag that you're pulling these candy corns out of. Like, you have at least 500 candy corns there. I'm like, I will eat a spoonful for 2 of the candy corns. I kind of worked it out with the teacher. I'd get like 8 candy corn and maybe 3 spoonfuls of soup. But I'm like, this is a lousy. Like, kids, don't take this deal. This is crap.
Well, the reason I asked, what were you doing when you were
big candy corn?
When you're 5 years old, those are terrible. This kid just hiked the entire Appalachian Trail. Harvey Sutton completed the entire 2.1 thousand miles in 209 days with his parents. Harvey is known as Little Man on the Appalachian Trail. He's not going to have long, though, to bask in the glory of hiking the length because he starts kindergarten this Friday. At 5 years old, Harvey is one of the youngest to complete the trail. He trekked more than 2,193 miles from Georgia to Maine in 209 days with his parents. It was hard work, but he said it was fun checking out frogs, lizards, and other wildlife. So was sprinkling Skittles onto peanut butter tortillas as fuel for the walk. He says the rock scrambles were really fun and hard. We were not bored. Harvey was 4 when he and his parents began their walk in January. He turned 5 before the family completed their journey last week in Maine. For the hike, his parents decided to take a mini retirement from their real estate job in Lynchburg. They've been hiking with Harvey since he was 2. Parents said that the biggest challenge was actually keeping their son's imagination engaged. Harvey made plans, they said, to talk about building homes, constructing spaceships. He wanted to host a lava party and discussion over hours of hiking. And he is only several months younger than a kid named Buddy Backpacker, a boy who held the record for the youngest to complete the trail in 2019. That kid finished the trail at the age of 4. But the difference is his parents and he did the hike in stages. They picked up where they stopped, but they would take a couple months off, go back to where they were. Where Harvey, he and his family just blasted it through in 209 days. So in an entirety, Harvey Sutton becomes the youngest person to ever hike the entire Appalachian Trail in one take.
Damn. Which is cool. Another 5-year-old memories here. I remember drowning in a pool at my 5th birthday party because my stepdad wasn't watching me. Someone else says, I have all kinds of memories going back to when I was about a year old, and when I was 5, I got to go into the 1st grade. They allowed me to enroll in kindergarten at age 4 because I could read the newspaper, and I understood what I was reading. God, you sound like so much fun. When I was 5, my dad drove us to the end of the street, and we watched Mount St. Helens erupting. I like this one. When I was 5, my sister hit me in the head with a putter. First time I bled from my ear. And
First time.
And when I was 5, I lived in Italy and got to experience topless beaches.
Correct. All right. Sweet. More of the random question coming up, 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.